Hi, I'm Nick Slavik, and this is the Painter's Tradecraft series. Today we're going to be talking about the cabinet painting process using an airless sprayer, specifically the Impact X440 from Titan. The hallmark of a good standard operating procedure is that it is simple and teachable, but also repeatable. And for that reason, we chose airless. It is very simple to teach people, and it's repeatable on every single job site that we go on. So prep is very important on any job, but a job like this, it's the most important because we're bringing in an airless machine and we're going to be professionally spraying a finish. The bulk of the work on this project is actually going to be prep work. The painting will take a very small amount of time. But we also need to protect the client's home to allow them to live here, but also protect the things that we're not going to paint in this area. Quick safety tip for you guys now. During this part of the cabinet process, we like to turn off the gas appliances when we spray. You can either do this yourself by finding a shutoff valve or getting a licensed contractor to do it for you. So logistics is a huge part of this job. When we take off the doors and drawers, we have a tight numbering system. It starts top to bottom and then left to right. Each cabinet gets its own individual number. When we take the hardware and the hinges off, we actually label them and place them inside the boxes so that each individual hinge or piece of hardware goes back on there. Every one of these hinges like this is individually adjusted for the cabinet door. And if you put them all in a bucket and disperse them around, none of the doors are going to be adjusted correctly. This numbering system, this labeling system, and this control of the hardware allow doors and drawers to go back up with minimal adjustments at the end of the job. So now that the doors and drawers are off, labeled, and headed back to our finishing facility, we can finish site prep. We're going to mask off the insides of these cabinet boxes with a step-back masking method, which is we take one line of blue tape initially to get a nice, clean, straight line, and then we will put in the field masking, the actual plastic that will keep odors and dust out of the cabinets. We will then prep off the ceiling. We will not be painting the ceiling on this job to keep paint off it, and then we'll go through our process called SVT. We sand the cabinets, we vacuum off with a brush attachment, and then we use microfibers to tack rag off the rest of the dust. Once this process is done, we're looking for these cabinets to be squeaky clean. No grease, no dirt, no contaminants, and then go through a process of finding the imperfections. We will use caulking on linear cracks, and we will use filler on holes or minor imperfections. We will sand those imperfections down, and we're ready for top coat. So now that the SVT, sand back tack process, is done on these cabinets, the entire area is plasticed off. We have entrance and exit, our floors, our countertops, our appliances, and the insides of the cabinets are plasticed off to keep particles and odor out of here. So the main idea here is to create something we call in my company the surgical suite. It is bright, it is light, and it is clean, so we can do our fine finishing and so that it's safe. One of the main things that we do to create a surgical suite is to have an air scrubber and a negative air machine. It is a fan that takes particles and odor from the job site and evacuates it elsewhere, keeping the client safe, but also taking those particles out so you can have a really fine finish on your cabinets and trim. So now that the SVT, sand back tack process, is done on these cabinets, we're ready to lay down some primer.